Hi there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of my album reviews, and my name is Christian Eschbach. I am Canadian, as I've mentioned in previous videos. As such, we have a thing called CanCom, which is Canadian content that we have to meet. I'm just joking. This is the internet. I don't have to do CanCom. However, I proudly do CanCom because there are a lot of great artists that come out of Canada. So, what I'm talking about is Annihilator Bag of Tricks. I don't plan on doing greatest hits albums. I really, unless it's a specific live album, I like a legendary kind of live album, I probably won't do many live albums. This one here, technically in its own little way, is sort of a greatest hits album, but as it says right on the back, contains 75 minutes of previously unavailable and rare material. So this is not. It's compilation album, but it's not a best ever greatest hits. It's a collection of oddities, rarities, demos, live tracks, because as of this point, I don't believe they had released a live album. So, Canadian metal to start with. A lot of jokes about Canadian metal. I'm not going to get into them. Everything that is cliche about metal, you will find in Annihilator. There is no true standout per se about the album. Fans of the band love the band. I personally enjoy the band. I would go see them live if they came around. Why not? But it's not a band that I'm going out of my way to see. It's not a band that I support in any huge way. They're not. They're pretty cliche metal, honestly. If you are a metal fan, like a metal fan, like I want to say like really Bay Area thrasher almost kind of metal fan, there's a good chance you probably like this. But let's get into the album here. Album opens up with what's considered, or at least at the time, or what I think might still be considered the best song they did, or their most classic song ever, uh, Allison Hell. It's on this. This is the remastered version. They remastered it specifically for this. It's an okay song. It's a really good tune. It's typical cliche metal, a lot of screamy kind of type vocals. Not totally screamy, but screamy esque vocals, really fast guitars, really brutal kind of vibe to it. It's a good tune. From there, we go to the demo version of Phantasmagoria. Yet again, another very cliche medley song, but there's just something about the song. I don't know what it is. It's got a hook. The chorus does really have a hook to it. Yeah. From there, we go to Back to the Crypt. I enjoy Back to the Crypt. I think it's a good kind of tune. Once again, it's really not a great. To me, there's very few albums on this, very few songs on this album that are standout songs. It's a collection of great cuts. So, well, the individual songs themselves are like, okay, this is a good solid track. It might not pop, it might not boom, but it's all solid tracks the whole way through this album at a bare minimum. And Back to the Crypt is definitely falls into that category. Gallery is definitely a little more brutal, a little more cliche metal, I find. Human Insecticide, first live track on here. Human Insecticide. Okay, really, it says it all, folks. Okay, really, that's that metal for you. So if you're not into that type of metal, that's not going to be what you're going to want to hear on the Fun Palace extended mix. I like the Fun Palace. I think the Fun Palace is a great song. I would love to hear the Fun Palace done by a different band instead, possibly. It might be a little more fun that way. I think it's a really, really good tune, though, the whole way around. To me, there's no drawback to the Fun Palace. It's got some good hooks to it. It's got some actual riffs to it. It actually takes you somewhere you can actually feel something with it. From there, we go to WTYD. This was obviously shortened down, I think, because they didn't want to put Welcome to Your Death, or maybe the label didn't want to release a song called Welcome to Your Death. But anyways, this is Welcome to Your Death Live, or WTYD. Nemo. From there, we go to Word Salad. Word Salad is a bit cliche and campy in certain ways, but I do still dig the song. It's got a good aggressive vibe to it. Really kind of pumps you. Okay, next song. Next one is a cover track. It is a live song, though. It is one of my favorite early AC/DC songs for getting you pumped up, but not a fast warm up, that slow pump up. And we're talking about Livewire, and they do it well. They really, really do it well on here. I immensely enjoy the vocals on it, the way the notes are hit, the way they play it in general is just a fantastic cover of it. And they don't try and go all metally on it like like you hear the type of metal they do on their other songs. They play it as themselves, but they play a faithful rendition. Like you can hear their sounds, you can hear their tones, you can hear their personalities, but you can definitely hear the AC/DC song. You know what I mean? It's just spectacular cover. Highly is actually one of the reasons I really kind of give this band as much respect as I do is because of how good of a cover I thought that they did of it. From there we go to another demo the second demo track on here, Night Jumps Queen. For a demo version, I really enjoy the song. Now, I believe it's called a demo version because I'd have to go check the notes. I think in the notes it says something about the lyrics might have been changed later or something like that. I don't remember 100%. If it wasn't that, it's one of the other songs coming up. But Night Jumps Queen, I like it because how often do you hear chess legitimately used in metaphor in a song, let alone a heavy metal song? I mean, we're not talking about giant monstrous plays where you're playing listening to an entire game throughout the song, but you're listening to the stratagem of the game throughout the song, the psychological mind fuck throughout the song. And sorry, I'm going to use the term because that's how it feels when you listen to the song of what it's supposed to be. I think it's a fantastic song. It's one of the ones off this album I actually listen to regularly. I thoroughly enjoy it. From there, we go into Fantastic Things. Really, I'm drawing a blank right now. Like, I should have maybe listened to the album beforehand so I can remember what Fantastic Things sounds like. And I'm totally drawing a blank. I mean, everything else on this album I remember quite well, but Fantastic Things just, no, gone. Not there, sorry. I believe it's a ballad, maybe ballad-esque, slower, possibly. I really don't remember. Next is another demo track, Bats in the Belfry. As I was mentioning earlier with Night Jumps Queen, I don't remember if this or Night Jumps Queen was one of the ones where the lyrics got completely changed or got changed out later or something like that. But I really like Bats in the Belfry. It's a good tune. It really is. It's not. It's Bats in the Belfry is more polished 80s glammy metal, we'll say. Um, I want to. I don't want to say, rat wasp, that kind of region, maybe a little bit, sort of. I realistically, I could hear Alice Cooper performing Bats in the Belfry. I think actually Alice doing a version of Bats in the Belfry would be really cool, especially with the incarnation of the band that he's got touring live with right now, because it is very much that late 80s, early 90s kind of nicely produced sound to the song, and the lyrical content, it fits in there, Bats in the Belfry, the cliche, right? So, but I really do enjoy the song. I think it's one of the better songs on this album in particular. It's one of the ones that stands out for me big time. From there, we go to Evil Appetite. I'm not sure what to say about Evil Appetite. I do enjoy it. It's a really kind of fun, good song, but it doesn't really pop. It really doesn't stand out. It really doesn't have it doesn't have kick. That's the best way I know how to put it. It doesn't have that real kick to push it over the top to make you really go, "Ooh, that was a good track. Let's go back and listen again." From there, we get to the last three songs on the album. The last three songs on the album are versions recorded in 1986. And the 1986 versions features the actual guitarist. Give me a second here. I do apologize. Man. This will teach me not to be prepared, right? Jeff Waters. Okay. Jeff Waters does guitar and does guitar in all the songs. Basically, Annihilator is Jeff Waters' band. Jeff Waters specifically, though, is the one who also is doing the vocals on the 1986 versions of the last three songs. You can understand why Jeff Waters is not the vocalist of the band. Jeff Waters is a growler. He would have been one of those ones where the band would have went from but so what this is this is the versions of these songs, okay? The first one is Gallery, which was the fourth song on the album. So you get to hear what would be the nice, well done, polished version of it versus the original incarnation of it. It's basically to be the same song. I actually kind of prefer the raw song version of it a little bit more. A little bit. Sounds a little raw, sounds a little more honest. Allison Hell. Okay, so I didn't really go into this too much in the beginning. I really love the song. It really is a great song. It has some great melodies in it. It has some phenomenal guitar work in it. The way it starts off, it teases you. It really does. It teases you. It's, how do I put this? There's no nice way to put this. It's kind of like, you getting it going, and it's like do 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 do, and then all of a sudden you're just off the race. You're just going, man. And that's Allison Hell, and it goes from there. Good tune though, really is a good tune. I really like the polished version. I really like the version from the album as well. I've got the actual Alice in Hell album, which is Allison Hell. One of my favorite songs from the band. on this album. I like having the two versions. It's kind of cool to hear the variations and the differences. Album finishes off with Phantasmagoria 86. Meh. Maybe should have finished with Allison Hell. Started the album with Allison Hell, finished with Allison Hell. That's the way I probably would have done it. All in all, I don't know why I gravitate to this album so much. I have annoyed a lot of people when I've been in moods and just felt like playing the hell out of this album over and over and over again, because most people I know not huge fans of the album. It's not metal for everybody. It isn't. I'm sorry, folks. It's not. But it is a good album as far as I'm concerned. It's a solid album. It's a way to definitely get introduced to the band throughout their career, or as much of a career as they had at this point. Because this album was released in '94. I should mention this. So this was a collection released in '94. I think at this point they've been around, well, '94. So you're looking at about 8 years. Kind of a bit of a filler album to me in a way, but a good filler album. That's it. That's all I can say. Annihilator, Bag of Tricks. Check it out or don't. Otherwise, love y'all. Peace. Take care.